fast forward yini kuma channel so AGH Politics Avenue. Monia breaking news be about ene de exmo ene edu nyaksem koto akra na de ewomi na say Kennedy the team ene me no ka say omatimi asusuja ede egu Abrony ene chema Wontumi ichima onia enyasem koto akra na kwado omudi bo mu nyina ne say electoral register manipulation be so na ne Abrony ene Wontumi ene na ohunsa ye dey ehyasia enyasem koto akra kianeki na kwanya mpese omfaso a omuwi abanim by manipulating the electoral register no eno na Kennedy Japan a obese utu franka adema NPP amayeko no ene ne nkofo ababontin abaye exposes a enya asem koto akra na see ena flyer no eka o see NPP flag bearer race team Ken demands sanctions against Wontumi Abrony over electoral register manipulation claims. And they say a flyer no so ets ne mdi kan bo mu nchiremu no flyer no so di ho dance yesa fa credit no emma joy news adaroma ene de flyer ne ba bontia ene yenye bia enso etumi de exum wo she no so mama say ahase AGH Politics Avenue yo adan sem so wo ho a ye besan ba wura mu ne de asom wo yenye ne sa so wademre ewa emishraw
awo na simpo no omusika sem no mtoto ye na re e papa che mo de bibia ekoso wa bibia nzu krom ada na ade no bebo won safo yin every year bia sikasa ni ana man de bam COVID-19 buy no kwadwumetima ka che say Ghana for bebo aye pa o e bebo aye papa so hwesika e finkro former mazu nkra ka say so e de bra yem ye enya ya se COVID-19 ni we 2025 e wo mi nya hwe se benya sika no is unya sense we nyina na akono to jimi mu etoto nkrofo kwa be say 1 week and 3 days asa na de no be bo hu safonyi because for no nti and they say yet to crow we mu and one of the NPP first vice northern region was upper east one of the lady no parliamentary candidates ba bonten ebe chase kai chiche ye ono na vice ninsa kan mu chase ka we nyina cross board Emma mu discard ye ni ebe grow madam as ye niam na hunya ye kan sansem cheche niam mu nyina wordman no edi wa me ka hwe and now wakoko transia wo mko mba bi om de ani wuoko ya nim sanya no kra ya to abati om no afa na mo di cheche ye fanye dai it was hard me fan so bi se Paul Afuku so that me Paul Afuku do me big brother bibia me penance me ko be di chairman to niam yi onya case why ye di andman ka sada Akuffo arakope baby atna obubu agire ne ho no afi na sorry a radio to radio TV to TV afi na wo cheche ya bo oda ba wan tibe so bedu sokoban a e ho na ba be dede emfa so bia ni so otuma se ya bo oda ba ho su oda ba ho a wo ko su so
ba for se bi su oda ba ho
enti ana do so ko bubu ba bia bo bo ko no kra wansu what ma fa normal ko jo tiase if you want to just the World Bank to have a bonti ba catch Ghana for say enya no cre NPP funds mom ka ye fanya dey ni e person sem we need bi kwa collection ye person sem we are singing because en croquet get mo twa won sha boy Burkina ni Togo mu ni ade sabia mu se be ye nu se wani mu chia mo mpo no mo ko no me to two ni years atam no e ma ni ma ko so Akuffo na busian fo ni namfofo ene ne yire mu ni ade asa ni ma ni apoto ye ka mo ye di mo anka bibia enne mo ba betete ya no pai e the report we ba si ye kan fanya dai Miss International when the say om do bugiri mu crowd o giri ho awon ti ase
o so we be kan say report on mo ye
report
no matensia
since
report ni nto mo 2025 policy note no mo de buy no and cancer same way na
a chedo se say number the dia a check se say number the Africa for the abone fund base 99.9% do papa ne kakra bi to be delay dia until don't say believe in spiritual something than God we be an Yankopon do fan bo on to them but in popom ni ade the pet team etia na esu ho no wotima se enti sa oni Africa ni ya dia ntempa no na hu se ba bia okọ ne ho ye tro enti se ni ukọ ni san be yi no ma advice bi na some de ba bontia no de aba no obi ahu se ni so mo nkọ no e no mo kọ ni se e no be boa dan sam betwen pepenso se na de aba obi abeka mu nya amasam kan nya tie go me ba me tie working car report ni ade you say Emrante ni maba mu word man gisa mu di agro nya agro ni edu a obi a wo wiase wi anu se Akuffo Addo mamu obebu ye no e na di NPP edu sa ba bi wodui na no ono sa nya anwode akogina ba bi ka kire Ghana for the Africa for se ye hwe ba bi amamu ni ko enko yi wo emre bi atwa mo gege mu tam no 1980 so ba bi nke potim na ke kwa mu ada because you say o sa ba she ni pa roma what the bonnier degree we say and we bush for says kase we am wo brother kenofurata
we no go tintim kase we am say evidence bi ni wo de kase bi asika sem na nko
ko fa ayi kenofurata mra no ma cheche ni amam and cousin won yare wo boa dia say ace clan won nya wo do mra ye wo ayi wa no ha no benum bi wo wi anu asa akora kwantu wa she ni kutupa so you obi onum say wo ye obi pa we bush cousin straight e ka wo ba mi wo ba brother cheche ni amam ni abusua na di wonte otima say na busua no di enko perception ni na film bi o me na me president when you obi am pointing kekewu say so much me mo am point obi keke ni bi etu okono adwan po different wo de oya busua ni ma di president brother cheche ni amam che Ghana for wo wi a no asa akọ ba bia wo no akoto ayare hwe so simple ye wo kotan no akọ no aboso say pa no edi na usuo di woni bone am wadi nti woni jiri mo amaye ntino bobusu ani eso ba cheche niema mu no sikasem the whole NPP MPs almost 100 catch us up pam unua no fi ho okay wo se da bi omo ye ya so okay ne mo mam 3 weeks me hye niema wi amepam no one pam no etwamu ko ya later wo se ma yino asa obi ano advice so se afimu no na ko sheba bi odo nko president wo now they dig Ghana dream say wie ya wo man bag so dwane o ne nkrofo na wi no so panchia de be banye ne wo na dwane ne okọ kwadwo na den because nya Akuffo Addo mamu Akuffo Addo mamu boni obebe kwadwo ya bre o me no ka sai wo pe o mpe o sa to Abrante a wo fefefe se wo tu kwa ya gisa ofasoro akokuma sa na Cape Coast ni adade a wo fa fo manya yie I be 12-13 hours now that fie kokuma se because Akuffo Addo mamu ofu nti wo be call election wo musa de bintu nye no de nsa kokwesi ho no wa dwiri kwa so no ase no Cape Coast kwa tokro mutu wo no kwadwo sa tokro ha sa tokro no afeni ya feli sa tokro no minimum ade potia no mo hwe ofom ho sa mamu no mo abu no mo de atete no de ase ni it word bank me de make actually stromo abai ababa transi wo e bibi na nya mema man nko 2 years o 1 year within that 6 months 1 year no ka say John Dramani Mahama ba bia no nkrofo okọ mo be think of mine no ye mfa kwa mu anya no man short report
on twem mo mfiso
enko pe ba bi yembre na ko fa on report ba report there na dey kojo
matewase
etimi de kakra be kan say sere omo so mo monitor animo ne omo break quarterly and on benya mo famra bonten
because asem na wo kan no me kan report ni bi o ha no ma or say and you are right or say the human cost has been severe.
Thank you.
Or say the bank estimates that the 2022 crisis and its aftermath pushed more than 800,000 Ghanaians into poverty.
Thank you.
With income per capita stagnating around $2,200 per a decade, and poverty now affecting over 1/4 of the population. It's in other man say omugnak boss wano nanka modi aba sana wo kano
sana we kan diko modi ba
anka sa 800,000
niema nu honom enya kra de sebe kwase na nsana go mase kakra na ko ma shift niema na ka brand na ye komu no e ka bi esubati otima say mo ye di ama nkrofo ya kan ko gutokro ni mo awie ama na do be wu anya wu awie wo de report no ba de ye fanya dai enu na make actually say pa mo chew amamwo we koso no me ka ho bi me boa ne ba ye nyina ya boa bibi koso na nya omunye ne ntentem no mampani oti asem John Dramani Mahama de na so ti asem we mon kan kire no obe corrections ntentem se de be ya Ghana fo nkonkoshe o ye wana o ye ndebi mu ansana mo de aba satam na se NPP o hin bi NPP se agu e be do 2028 na agu se nipa ka mo pomo say Because now me tio pa. Who demonstration kwe?
Aye.
When conform don't call demonstration. They call demonstration. What we for no?
Oh.
Drag addict.
Okay, you who is
What we
interview clear course.
What we need do not agree point the political opposition party. Where party can get for GCP there? One crowd from Akuffo we go demonstration. It may be a party where do not stand for the demonstration here. That's us.
Okay.
Now, me the other say, when you be the fine gentleman like Samuel Kumuni the other day, they say we even supporters Akroma. Samuel Abel power.
Okay.
That 1,000 years, don't you mind?
Yeah. Me that say. Could you have your turning? And it's interesting. I mean, when you read the report, or say, about when you say warnings, maybe citizen warnings were also issued about renewed physical excesses in the 2024 election year. Yeah. The report cites unbudgeted spending commitment of approximately $4.8 billion US, about 5.7% of GDP, much of it accumulated outside official financial management system.
Listen, my
citizen, my menu I didn't share a report here, World Bank, Abbey. Yes, sir.
I think I will side with Minya Kujo. Sometimes World Bank memes or you say Oya Bazil. This is not the first time. Abanbia Wadwa. Even when opposition is saying things about the economy, the World Bank seems to always side with government. That same government they always applaud for their discipline and their commitment to fiscal policy. No? When you are Wofidwa and the same World Bank comes to talk about that government, they did it to Mahama.
Yeah.
Same thing. Into the World Bank, and I'm not too sure what it's supposed to mean. Whether they always want to be on the side of government for maybe because of once I don't know. But I think they should also be up and doing it. You release 2022 reports in 2025. For what? See, I am finding the information you're giving us. What are we supposed to use that information for? We don't want any distraction of distraction. There, we want to remain focused.
Thank you.
Since there is a distraction for us to be going back to be talking about 2022. Really, is this really necessary for us as a country? You can be an institution or a body or money biara or be on track. When you give them on-time information, that will be useful in their assessment of the governance of the country. But in my report, I read the 3 years old report. It becomes a distraction, and it doesn't even help this government to be focused. This government, or you say or the excuse another body. Like, what do you really want this information to be useful? But I've also realized the mischief. Some people are also putting what President Mahama said at the UN General Assembly about COVID-19, or where he wrote 2 years, 20 decades of poverty reduction fights. We used 2 years to just reduce that fight. And they are relating it to Ghana.
Exactly.
The president talking about Ghana. Or can globally. Yes, Ghana will be affected. COVID-19 when you do be our Ghana.
Okay.
When you do born, when you do papa, it's my Ghana. When you could come Ghana during that COVID-19 period. COVID-19 period, like the way we used to be. Into even the demand for the dollar and Akuffo, into exchange rate was better in that year.
Yeah.
But strangely, that same year, no sunyamani bubi owa oyede okosor. So, for instance, the containers, I mean, because I'm into freight and all those things, the containers are now worker bano. The quantum leap are just ekakra inyamareba. The cost of imports in Ukraine. So, of course, so obviously the COVID-19 had its impact on the economy. But on which there, if you have built better buffer, because Mama we are free there, all the buffers are depleting. There were buffers left by President Mahama. All the energy sector levy heritage levy heritage fund these were buffers created by somebody. I also be buffer the day Jayana. It is Jayana. If the baby for Furisia, people could have relied on. So yes, problems, challenges about obwa for you to rethink and look at the future. There, if I didn't maybe nenda so China to Bisia, I will be better prepared for those things. Yeah, you know, COVID-19 baba. Yeah, baby baba overcome kofu good name. So it has serious impact. Honestly, no bia you are over to work at the COVID-19 when you to bia. But they be a when it happened to Nigeria, they took a Ghanaian there to do homegrown rice. Rice. Emo Nigeria would do would dria or Nigeria. Or a Ghana, you know, the no ye. And they made it possible. The one crack in Mumba. Because the money that they invest every year, what they cram mobano, no or kum 1 naira. And yet, if I didn't able boost off there during COVID-19, our domestication drive, you know, you to 2 years months year in for so ye who in day say beautiful furisia we are self-reliant. Yenchere, ye diano kebi, ye in yes day. And during COVID-19 time, I said it that this is the time that in GCPP Dayaka about domestication it should be followed. Because our borders were close. How do you become self-reliant? We are over-reliant on imports. And President Akuffo in opposition said that he would change the country from the Gadgisberg economy.
Yes.
Which is on imports.
Yes.
Obeno or the Yama one of the key things I'm supporting former President Akuffo on was that he was bringing domestication ideas. One district, one factory. Domestication. Planting for food and jobs. Domestication. Obeno any end. How did we lay things down in the all benefit of money than the same policies now you see now what do Ghaniska? We have heard a lot of people who went for money from Exim Banker. What's what the KCC factories are? There is Sakura land. Nothing has been done. People are putting buildings in the bush. And nothing is happening. They washed on. You know, many people have taken money, sir. Projects are after one quite a word yen. Most show high no one fine year them projects. So how do you deal with those corruption fights? So when we want to talk about some of these things that happened, they blame COVID-19, Russia-Ukraine war. Yes, they might have their own impact. But I think they rather took advantage of it to do certain things and we would have avoided them. Okay. I think the time you are saying COVID-19, we're investing dollars in digging a national pool, swimming pool. So how do you then defend the COVID-19? Now, mama, what economy will shake? Because some of the investments are no idea no more money to me for pay friend. We were not doing the right investments during that time. It's all more thing when you want to explain that yes, COVID-19 shook the foundation of the country because but you were still paying them. There were taxes which were not coming, revenues which were not coming, even though you got so much money and you even had surplus of it to support your budget. So it makes it difficult to have that intellectual discussion when they compare it to the investment you are doing at that same time. Why won't Akuffo Bawumia sikan muche? Muche ne de biscuit my na kodua ball king. What you chase can, and it's not in a member of I think she was a DC or MC, and she was aspiring for a parliamentary role.
That's the first vice chairman, one of the northern.
You understand?
Yeah.
These were things that they said, and you kept on and you watched them to say all these things. You understand? It's in then as a World Bank even though I say the World Bank, that means some of it is not. We shouldn't be distracted by it.
Okay.
I think that all of us should remain focused as a country.
Okay.
We know and we knew, even though the World Bank was silent. You see, and this is what for me, as a party not in government, it makes it difficult for me to support my brothers in the NPP on the intimidation work we say about
yeah.
Because even World Bank was silent during your time. They could not talk. World Bank don't want to.
Harassment, police won't change.
What about you?
What's the ultimate support your police harassment work? And yes,
I wish like woman and brain academy. I don't think that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
But what I meant to say is the intimidation that you are talking about. That in terms of people being silent, because what I heard is culture of silence, right? And if you talk about culture of silence, if people were not able to speak about issues as they should have been spoken about during your time, people have only found their voices because they've strangely found their voices. And I like what he said.
Nti we ensama hodo timi koso wa channel no so amara so jemre e wa da sene so ba de ndie dombi edom yania woni e besan hiem na ya somo yie pa aha age politics avenue